And we're not waiting a quarter second more. As you can see, Sweden gets the first tip. All right, then going to the left side, as you see Sweden trying to find its best way, but then a steal going down the left as well for Portugal. Going down the lane, a nice good slam jab step through, and that's 2 points on the board. Let's see how they're going to hold it down through the full court. And again, full court pressure from Portugal. Trying to keep it swanky, going left and right, but then a foul. We're noticing a lot of fouls that's been happening throughout this game. And now let's see how they're going to respond on defense.
Yeah, that first quarter dragged on a lot, and they got into the bonus in the first quarter, which hasn't happened, I think, maybe in one other game we called here this week, Vince. So they're getting handsy. I don't hate it. I always forget that Sweden have this navy blue in their jerseys as well. I always just think of the kind of gold, the yellow. It looks fantastic, though. And just a moment to represent, I guess, Pro-Am right here is 5-on-5, highly customizable avatars. These are the national jerseys that the real basketball players wear. As we see the law firm stroke home another three-pointer here, Vince, and a timeout for Sweden just to get a mental reset, a mental pause. That's what I love about this particular game mode. And, of course, we have our beloved eFIBA Season 3 customized court as well that everybody can see there. And you know who's hosting the game because we got the team's name at the bottom on the baseline.
All right, I see it's Portugal, but going right down the center of the court. Love him. All right, little shuttle pass for Bellissimo Dunko. Okay, he's ready to tear it down. Trying to be a little Shaq X. I really wish they had an animation which you dunk it so hard and the backboard breaks and then stop the entire game.
I'm here for it as well, man. Hey, it's the metaverse, right? They can just have a new backboard appear from like under the court. It'll be fine. Or just fly one in. It'll be cool. But yes, I'd like to see that as well. But this is not NBA Jam. This is Pro-Am mode. This is 2K Ultra Realism, and it does not fail to disappoint. And we had a lot of teams actually, only about 10 days ago with the latest patch, kind of mentioning they had to adjust their gameplay style as we get a smart time out there to avoid the 3-second violation. What I love is the scouting and the preparation, both gameplay and psychologically wise, that we've seen from these teams. You and I have commented the most media-ready interviews ever as well. And I think it is a Netflix special waiting to happen, Vince, because, yeah, these are some of the most fantastic young esport minds in the world as we see Sweden nail home a 3 right there. And the end result is what you're seeing on the court. Superb gameplay.
I was talking to a really good friend of mine from Mexico, actually. She's rooting for the Mexico team. Beautiful shuttle pass, but unable to finish the dunk. Oh, he didn't have his Wheaties today. And I mentioned it was the best answers ever. And, she mentioned, like, are you just amazed that they know English? I'm like, no, it wasn't that they knew English. I mean, that's okay. It's the elaborate description of the questions we had. I mean, I still think that's one of the best sound bits from Mario from Spain. I mean, even though the sentence didn't make sense, the meaning made perfect sense. Every team is hell. Every team, you're going through the gates of Diablo. You got to go through the fire, and you don't know if you're going to get burned. You don't know if you're going to come out the other side okay. You don't know if you're going to be missing a finger because it was scorched. Like, it's literally Dante's Inferno every round. And that's true because the competition has increased every year. They go to the drawing board, they go to the practice gyms, and also the help. You heard Israel getting help from France. You think Sweden would get help from Portugal, tying up right there. So the community is just growing, and it's one thing that, it's beautiful to watch, but also inspiring to be a part of.
Yeah, big time. And we saw the love is real between the players. In Jönköping, Sweden, DreamHack Winter, as we got an open 3 down the other end, and the Swedes are going to rattle it home right there. Woo, I like that's a 10-point run, a 10-0 run right now for the Swedes, Vince, and they take the lead by 3. Yeah, the love is real, the respect is real, the admiration is real. Definitely they are fiery, fierce competitors, but they respect one another, they appreciate one another. And the World Finals is what it's all about, that $50,000 prize pool. 8 teams will be going to the Philippines. We loved Jönköping. Even though it was winter, we went into a lake for a promo video. We had a lot of fun as we see a glorious gliding dunk right there. But, yeah, it is going to be a lot nicer to go into a lake in the Philippines, I'm here to tell you, Vince. So 8 teams looking to go there. book their ticket, feet in the sands, and hopefully bring home the bacon.
Yep, and also that first step from 𝐒𝐫𝐲𝐷 going left, right, and a mid-range, just like a good James Harden, off the dribble, popping it and locking it. Great shot. 𝐷𝐞𝐫𝐞 got to be careful of his first step. Yes, he has great dribbling, but his change in direction, also changes speed, has been a deadly acetone. But Simon be balling, and he's been calling him from the corner, knocking it down, tying the game with 51 seconds left in the first.
Ooh, and that's it. What we're seeing right there is, man, you can't take a single playoff. These good teams will just keep coming back time and time again. It was Halloween this week. They're basically like Freddy Krueger. They just keep coming back. You're going to have Nightmare on Elm Street number 15. That's what you got to do against these guys. They keep coming back every single play. You got to be locked in mentally. And now Portugal will try to take the lead here to close out the first quarter. Again, lowish scoring affair, which is kind of characteristic of these powerhouse games, isn't it, Vince? So a gorgeous finger roll right there. 12 seconds. There's an opportunity here for Sweden to have the final say here in the first quarter and squeak back this lead. Cumulative scores out the window. It's all about winning. 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐜𝐫𝐞 with the ball. Oh, smart foul, though, because now they're going to force him to an inbounds. And we haven't seen too many teams actually unlock a good inbound play. So a really heads-up play there from Portugal. Got to have the cut. Gets in. Does it count? It does not. Oh, missed it by a split of a second right there.
Split a second. And also shout out to Palmares on TikTok. I'll be going to the TikTokers too, getting some Portugal files there, Portugal flags. And I really appreciate the support, again, all social media. But like I say one more time, make sure you follow eFIBA_official and also FIBA. And go to that post on eFIBA_official. Try get your chance to win NBA 2K25. We got 3 of them that we're going to give out, but we want to make sure everybody gets a shot to, like that shot right there, to win so you can play just like these professionals. And now Portugal has a lead by 3.
Ooh, and just like that, they come back into it. I've been impressed with what I've seen here in terms of the fight from Sweden, the adjustments they made to take that early lead. Portugal have definitely lent pretty heavily on the top of the key. Out to the wing here. 3, it's a miss, but Lourinho coming back down with a nice offensive rebound.
Coming on left side, Sweden with the inbound. Nice job by 𝐷𝐞𝐫𝐞 keeping control. Again, Portugal's in the white, Sweden's in the blue. Top of the key, 𝐷𝐞𝐫𝐞 again. First step gets his man off his feet, but no brain Salazar does a no brain play, knocking it down from back in the lane. 20-14, Portugal extending the lead.
And they really do take advantage of the entire perimeter. You can see Sweden came in and had a heavy focus on taking away the corner threes, right? And the best teams have been, let's just say, not taking the bait from the baseline help defense, yeah? And we've seen that from Sweden, so they've prepped really well. But right now, as we get a good baseline cut, I think we might need to see a little bit more of that from Sweden. Again, they waited until the second quarter to have a backdoor cut. I'd like to see some more of that because it's the one thing that seems to catch Portugal off guard, and then you can start to work open threes as we see 𝐷𝐞𝐫𝐞 making it look so easy. Clyde the Glide Drexler style for a dunk. But yeah, so far so good from Sweden. It's just really hard to compete with such a well-oiled Portuguese shooting machine like this. And yeah, I don't envy the toss. Let's put it that way, Vince.
𝐷𝐞𝐫𝐞's first step is one of the most massive impacts I've seen in this game, but a great mid-range by the point guard coming from Sweden. You got to be careful. Once he changes directions, he's going to blow right past you and going for a dunk. And he's actually has a point guard build that has that great driving dunk and lay that can knock it down. Also behind the 3. What else can this man can't do? 25-18. He's doing it all.
Ooh. 7-point lead here, and that's how you answer, though. 𝐒𝐫𝐲𝐷 taking the game into his own hands. I can't believe he had 9 assists last game to go with his points as well, Vince. So he really is this entire offense. But there you go. Oh, an uncharacteristic mix. But it's Henry Jones showing up for the first time in this game. As we see really good defense, it's going to go out of bounds. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Still will be Portuguese ball. Yeah, 𝐒𝐫𝐲𝐷, look, the whole offense runs through him for Sweden. They got to let him loose. as the law firm is going to pull the trigger and miss the three. Oh, my God. I thought that went in for a second, Vince.
Almost. Nice across. 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝐼simo trying to get outside. Omari almost knocking it down, just rattling out. 𝐸𝐸 coming down the left side. Having one of the locks guard him. Got to be careful of that. But then a great three. That's ultimate. But Henry Jones Law Firm trying to close the case so that Portugal will advance to the semifinals. Going to the right side, 𝐸𝐸 again. That first step, be careful, leaving two defenders in the dust. Spin move, no way. That's one of the craziest shots I've ever seen. One of the longest twos, but did a little samba dance with it. Used to celebrate it. Portugal 27-21.
Glorious shot. And here we go. So a 6-point Portuguese lead here. Coming up on 1 minute to play in what has been another fast game, Vince. They're going too fast. They're going light speed. As we see 𝐕𝐸𝐿𝐵𝐼simo go light speed. Hitting Mach 10 right there. Throwing down that dunk in the paint. Want to see a little bit more of that. I feel like Sweden can exploit the paint. Can exploit the easy twos, high percentage shots, Vince, if they want to. And that might be all they have on offer. Plus, what you don't want to see, is we have Bomber activated for Love Amari and a great steal by him and a smart foul at the other end. What you don't want to see is Portugal with a comfortable lead again in the fourth, just controlling the clock, right? I want to see them motor a little bit, especially in the third, to try and get the lead or get themselves super close in this one.
Well, they can do that. They have the ability, but it's a very close game even so. I mean, the 7-point game before, 59-52, as you see the previous game. If Sweden wins this, they'll force a game 3, but Portugal gets it. They advance all the way to the semifinals, and we're playing against the winner of Italy and Germany will be the next game of today. But also we still have Turkey, Finland, and also France and Israel. So as you see, Sweden's on top of the key, keeping a lot of control here. Going to the left side, punt, deep bomber, and unable to hit it, but still got the takeover.
Yeah, really, really good defense right there. Just make that shot as hard as possible, considering as Bomber activated, that hoop is going to be as wide as the ocean. He's just going to be dropping baskets in. 𝐸𝐸, good cut off the ball. Oh, very good rejection right there, though. Solid defense here from the Swedes. Pull up three. Gotta have it, though. You gotta have it right at the half. They missed. That was the shot they needed. As we see Henry Jones once again showing up on the score sheet with the three-pointers. Not as many as last game, Vince. He had 4 of 6 from beyond the arc, but it is going to be a Portuguese lead beginning of the third quarter.
Absolutely.
Interesting stuff.
A lot of interesting things, and one thing I do love about it is that the fight that's still in Sweden, but Portugal right now is getting tested. I mean, I have to admit, this Swedish defense is breaking down left and right, but they get some crucial blocks out of nowhere to maybe just change possession. And I see every team getting good shots, though. No one's really going crazy. I mean, there's about 10 for 16 from the field from Sweden, 11 for 20 from Portugal going into the half. I mean, but 5 threes have dropped for Portugal for 5 for 11 with team combined and only 3 for 6. So that's going to be the difference maker right there. And that's only that 4-point lead. So let's see if they can capitalize on that.
3 to shoot. Finds Salazar, the open man. Oh, and he punishes him with another three-pointer. Wow. For 23 seconds of that 24-second shot clock, that Swedish defense was perfect. But when you go up against Alexis Salazar, you give an inch, he's going to take a mile as we have a foul back the other end. They're just so hard to defend around the perimeter. Truly, anywhere from the wing to the top of that perimeter, Vince, Portugal, they have a play. They have a plan, and they're going to make you pay.
Yep, and again, the announcer's blessing. We talked about the threes, and they're making it rain it down. 7-point game, a little repeat from the first game, 4 minutes left in the third. Another foul, but you got to be careful. You don't want to go to the bonus because free throws can be that Achilles heel for either team because those are just free points. Coming on this inbound, Henry Jones, big man, giving to the point guard, 𝐸𝐸. I'm talking about his first step. Careful of that change of direction, but a great give and go to no-brain Salazar going down the hole and knocking it down with 32-23.
And here we go in the third. Portugal just extending the lead at the moment. It's early days in the third. That's what they need. They need that open shot. Back to 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐤. They didn't settle for it. 𝐕𝐸𝐿𝐵𝐼simo and Love Amari. 𝐕𝐸𝐿𝐵𝐼simo is going to crash those boards. 2 Portuguese defenders crashing the boards for them, though, so they secure the rock. Henry Jones going to pump the brakes. Good backdoor cut right there, but Sambi Bolin did not catch his defender napping. Kicks it back out. PT Creative going to find the law firm at a big block right there. Big man on big man action down in the paint. Good boards here from Sweden. They really need a bucket here, Vince. They got to change the script right here. They need to get some points if they want to show up in this one.
But that's what I was talking about, how they're getting holes in their defense, and Portugal can score, but Sweden out of nowhere gets these massive defensive stops, blocking. But as you just saw a couple of plays ago, gets the shot clock already down to 2 seconds, and then breakdown, and then a daggering three. They have to keep it full throughout the shot clock, and then a great give and go again to the big fella, knocking it down 32-25. But they got to stay consistent by stopping Portugal's offensive prowess.
They do, and a really good shot right there. It keeps them within touching distance. This is going to be incredibly interesting down the stretch. I am fascinated to see, because it's a very low-scoring game, right, Vince? No more cumulative score. It's just win to stay alive if you're Sweden. And Portugal will be in no hurry. They'll be looking to really kind of game manage this one, right? An American football team, a game manager, yeah? Just try to control things, as we're going to see a good steal. Can they get the transition bucket in traffic? 4 Portuguese players crashing the boards right there. And a reach-in foul. Now, I did notice one thing, though, Vince. I believe we might have a Swedish player on 4 personal fouls. I need to see the box score again, though. So that is something to keep an eye on as well. They don't want to go man down in a must-win game.
We'll see what's going to happen, but a great mid-range from Sweden. And also, just this defense has been stepping up, but a breakdown right there. Henry Jones just wiping the eyes. And to the right, that's Henry Jones, and then to the left, that's 𝐒𝐮𝐲𝐫𝐢𝐵𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐿𝐼. You know, trying to coach their teams, and also it's just about game management, indeed, like you said. But Punt going from a certain point of the court, understanding that spacing is key. And I want to talk about, because Punt we just creeping in that corner, keeping his man away from the play, so then you can get nice shots like that, and that's how they can get back.
Yeah, and the discipline in particular from both teams on the help defender, the corner shooter, they've really taken that away, as we see a gorgeous three right there. I think we need more of that from Labamari. I really do. I believe they need to just go into Sonic the Hedgehog ball mode right now. As fast as they can get these baskets, give that man the ball and let him cook. As we see the law firm miss from deep, but it is an offensive board, and another three right there. That is a dagger from the Portuguese. The lead is 11 once again.
Yep, and also shout out to our man Renars, giving to the stats. There is one player on Portugal with 4 fouls. That's Bellarino. So you got to be careful with him. He can't start putting hands on him when he gets up to 6 fouls. So 2 more, and then he may be fouling out. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my apologies that it was one of the Portuguese players, which would be devastating for them to be a man down in the 4th, as you got a talented Swedish team trying to claw their way back in. Good move right there. Massive dunk, hanging off the rim like a baby sloth as we get a turnover. Oh, that's a massive steal for the Portuguese. Nobrand Salazar will get the ball here, pump the brakes, and they will take their sweet time as they try to milk this clock down in the 3rd. Gotta have it. It's a foul, and he's gonna go to the line to shoot 2.
Going to the line indeed, 30-41, 18.7 seconds left. Peach Grip with 14, No Brain with 12. A solid stat sheet from Henry Jones, 7 and 6. Just an all-around player, keeping his team up front. Now this 11-point lead does seem a little comfortable, but we've seen the Swedish come back in other situations. Again, they are a heartbeat. They're like a heart monitor. It's up, down, but they always stay alive. So you got to be careful and just make sure if you're going to keep them down, they have to stay down, because they will rise to the occasion and steal that lead.
And wasn't it interesting that we didn't really see the full court pressure from the Portuguese until late in the 3rd, Vince? So they kept that wrinkle as we now get another pickpocket right here. 5 to shoot, trying to have the final say. That's great from Lourinho, who gets stripped himself right there. A final wrinkle defensively to throw at your opponent late in the 3rd, which is this full court pressure. I love it, Vince. It's a fast-paced game of chess we're witnessing right here. And Portugal know, with a 13-point lead here in game number 2, having taken game number 1. You can see that in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen as we get a nice dunk from 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵𝐿, the pick and roll. Portugal know they are 5 minutes away from going through to the semis. What can Sweden do to stop them from advancing? We're going to find out.
We're going to find out indeed. But PT Creative going on the left side. Got 5 more minutes. Henry Jones back in the little fella. Is there a mouse in the house or passing it out? No Brain Styles are taking their time, milking every possible second. 2 seconds left in the shot clock. Will they get it off in time? They do, and knocking it green, baby. That was supreme use of time management. 46-32.
Ooh, I'm here for it. And now Sweden find themselves in familiar territory. I'm sorry to say, now they're double teaming as well, Vince. They're trapping. So out of nowhere, and just late in the third, they flipped the switch and said, okay, let's go. It's time to trap. It's time to go full court pressure. When Sweden want to move as freely and as quickly as possible, they just decide to add another level of clamp to their defense. PT Creative waiting for the shot. No Brain Salazar's going to be open, Vince. It's a huge, huge three-pointer. They're up by 17 now, solidifying this lead, solidifying this game, and literally marching on towards the semis. What can Sweden do to counter it?
They need the support. I need everybody in the chat. Let me get the Swedish flags. Let me get the Swedish love. Let me get the little fams. What's up, Little Mix? Where's the organization? They need your energy because the game ain't over yet. I don't give up until that last whistle is blown, and we got more games today. Let's see if they can hone in on their skills, give it a give and go. Good pass to 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵𝐿, and Tech 15 couldn't get the mid-range in Portugal's ball.
Honestly, the most impressive thing about this Portuguese performance here down the stretch, Vince, for me, has been this defense. It really feels as though they were maybe in second gear. It was good defense. It was world-class defense. But now they're up in third or fourth gear. It's like it came out of nowhere, this ability to shut down the opponent. And as we know from the World Finals last year, defense does win championships. It isn't necessarily about how many points you can score if the likes of a USA or a Philippines can just pour in bucket after bucket against you. You need to be able to stop them. And I think during pre-qualifiers there, we had nearly 300 points in one game out of the Asia region. I mean, so yeah, high-octane offenses. I'm impressed by this Portuguese defense in this one as they find themselves up by 19 now. Chance to extend this lead. Good board from the Swedes, handing it back to 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵. They got to get motoring right now. It's now or never for Sweden. They got to find shots, and they got to find them fast.
Timeout now by Sweden, trying to recalibrate. 2:14 left in the game. Henry Jones still having some size because he knows it's not over. He's been holding his breath. I see with the smile. I think he may have heard me. I don't know. But he's a little bit happy, probably getting some talking with his teammates saying that, hey, we got some more work to do. 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵 going on the left side, nicely behind the back. Can he knock it down? Unable to get it, but 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵 still keeping it on the Swedish side, trying to get the right move and the right pass. 5 minutes, that's a deep three, knocking it down, falling down, 35-51.
And that's exactly what they needed. Look, at this level, 16 points is not unheard of. It's not crazy. What you're hoping for is to really jeopardize this Portuguese offense as much as possible and then capitalize on some mistakes. Beautiful three. It rims out, and a great board here. And quick transition, down the other end for Sweden. Off balance three. It misses. They really needed that one to go in.
Really need that one to go in, but 1:26 left in the game. Simon be balling. Saw a little cut to Henry Jones. Didn't pass it to him. So like we talked before, it's all-time management. Just trying to solidify the win. Henry Jones, the law from pump fake. Oh, mouse in the house. This guy is bigger than life. 1:15 left in the fourth. 53-35. Portugal pulling away ever so slightly.
And here come the Swedes. 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵 not going quietly into the night with a nice dunk right there. I've been impressed with what I've seen from Sweden. They are, in my notes anyway, the most improved team of the entire tournament as Lourinho who has 4 personal fouls, gets an easy dunk down low. They can hold their heads high, but barring something miraculous, as Sambi Boland's going to get a foul, they're still full court pressuring the Swedes right now. Not resting with an 18-point lead, Vince. That has been the story of this game, this Portuguese defense in the second half in particular. Wow.
Insane indeed. And it's funny, Portugal only had one true loss, and it was against Luxembourg of all teams, which was great to see that they had some power. But now they're just having this great power. We're going to be 6-0 on this run in the qualifiers, and let's see if they can continue it.
17-point lead. 45 left on the game clock. It's been a quick opening 2 games here, Vince. Blink and you miss it as PT Creative probing, settling for the easy 2. 35 to go in this one. The full court pressure is still there. Lavamari springs the trap, though. Is going to pull up for a deep 3. It rims out. Light pressure, as you can see there. I like the fact that the players have the feedback immediately from their attempted shots, and that is going to be a 22-point lead for the Portuguese. Not what we were expecting down the stretch here, Vince. As you consider, it was only 59-52 in the previous game, and Sweden came out really firing on all cylinders to begin this one. But it will be the Portuguese advancing to the semis, the first team to book their place in the semis here, Vince. And I got to tell you, this defense, the good thing about it is it travels. You can travel. A good defense can travel. We can go with you from game to game, and they're going to need it considering the behemoths they're going to have to face. But that is a superb, well-rounded performance and win right there. We bid farewell to Sweden, who were most improved team in the tournament, in my humble opinion.